on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Shake it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right out the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. On the stick, see I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip. It's go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 243 of the Vitamin G podcast. I am your host, Pharaoh, and with me right now, I have Jubei Sensei. How you been, man? What you been playing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been keeping it kind of low key. I've been playing some Madden here and there. Playing a little bit of Starfield. I finished the DLC for Man Eater last week, so that was fun.
Hey, about Madden, did you get into the beta? I know I sent you the link for it.
I did
Did you play it?
a little bit, a very little bit.
They never sent me a beta code. They some haters.
That's trash. I from what I can tell, they're putting that flick stick thing that they were gonna do with the college game in 25.
Yeah, where you can play, you can switch to any defender on the field. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because like there's so like you be trying to click onto somebody, and
because
they don't
people
quite
quick snapping is such a fucking bitch, and like when people quick snap you and you're not on the defender you need to be on, it's like it's a free play. Now it's not
Yeah,
a
it
free
is.
play anymore, and you could bait people into making certain throws. Like if you know a certain play is coming, you can start on one player and quick flip to the next one, get you a little pick six, and then them speed option plays. Yeah, that's gonna come clutch on those speed option plays.
Y'all defensive gurus out there gonna tear it up.
Yeah, you know I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm defensive and I'm a vertical offense, and I don't got no speed. Well, I got a speed guy now on my team, but I've gone 2 years without a speed guy, and I run a vertical offense. So it's been kind of dicey, but I still I still do my thing. I'm still gonna push the ball downfield no matter what. But yeah. Oh, we got some more people in here. Let's see who I'm gonna go with. I think Zero made it in first. So Zero, how you been? What you been playing?
What is going on, people? I'm good, man. Honestly, not playing a lot. I've been on travel this past week, so
That time of year.
didn't really get an opportunity to do much. Was playing a little bit of Elden Ring, just trying to finish this game so I can go play the DLC.
travel is not an excuse for you, my friend. You are the part of the Nintendo clan. That Switch goes everywhere.
Well, part of the challenge is that I am being a good uncle, and so I tend to leave my Switch with my niece and nephew. Hopefully, so they like the games that I have. I could just buy them their games on their Switch, but it's a whole thing. So I've not had my Switch in like 3 weeks, which
Well,
is unfortunate because I've been thinking about getting the Switch expansion pack. I've been wanting to replay all the Zeldas.
okay.
And I think all the classic ones wouldn't take me very long. So, you knock those out and then you jump to the longer ones. All in preparation for the new Zelda starring a princess
Zelda.
herself, Zelda. Yeah. So, looking forward to that. So outside of that, not really much. Destiny 2, Dual Destiny's awesome. Destiny's first sort of like 2v2 game mode. Absolute great time. But otherwise, yeah, that's it, man. Not much else.
Okay. And in the words of the great Michael Jordan, you know what I want to say. Um,
Um,
but Nappy, how you been? What you been playing?
hey, how's it going? So, I'm surprised to be on the show because I was sick the past weekend. So I
I'm
was
sorry to
in
hear
my
that.
no, that's okay. I was in my apartment. I didn't realize this whole weekend my apartment's been at 80 degrees, and I was just comfortable in that type of heat.
Hey, when you're sick, that's a good temperature to sweat some stuff out.
Yeah, definitely. I've been sweating a lot, but as I was sick and my girl didn't want to come see me because she says she can't afford to get sick. I was all alone with a game called Megaton Musashi W.
Oh, that's a favorite of Kofi.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty decent game. I do like the mech combat. I do like the fact you can control and customize your mech suit. Not fully recovered yet, so bear with me.
Oh, yeah, I think it's just me and Nappy that normally came up. I think Jube's on the Xbox, and Zero, he paces around, so he doesn't actually sit in front of a computer.
I apologize.
Somebody
Oh.
asking about the cam.
Yeah, I guess somebody's asking about the cam. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, if I was on my
I forgot
PC, I'd be on
I
cam.
forgot to switch it to the grid, so they were just looking at my ugly face on the big screen.
oh, dang.
That's why we had the complaint. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
All right, but yeah, continuing playing Megaton Musashi Wired or W. The story wise, as typical anime story, has cool little cutscenes. It gives off a little bit of it's not Persona, but a Persona-ish vibe mixed with like a basic mech game. Anyone in the real world reality, aliens have attacked humanity, and we wiped everyone's memory so they don't remember all the tragedies that happened. Also, paired people up with each other using memory swaps and all this other stuff. And then, if you are part of the defense force, you get to learn the true essence of what happened and realize everything's a lie. Your life is a lie, and you fight again. It's all the aliens' fault. So it's a pretty.
That sounds a lot like a lot of space games this particular generation, because I played um Scarlet Nexus, kind of similar themes, um and then Tales of Arise had kind of a similar type.
I will say Tales of Arise though was like you were forced to be slaves. You weren't like
Yeah, but it's still like this whole space lie like society that
okay, yeah, Space
yeah.
Invaded, yeah. So it was kind of like that, and also the game has cross play features. So I was kind of curious, and I didn't know you could play online versus and co-op missions. I turned on crossplay on, and just to see who was online, there was nobody hosting online, which I was like, damn.
Well, that game is like what 2-3 years old now, and it's more of a single player game, right?
The game came out April 24, 2024.
Oh,
So
I've heard
You know, at least
Maybe
on PC, it came out April 24th.
is that
But
just
it
to the
is a
US? Because I feel like Kofi's been talking about that game for like 2 years.
I know Kofi. He probably been playing games early because he does do switch the VPN to get those Japanese
Yeah,
exclusives.
yeah. About to say he's been playing it for a couple years, so I think that kind of hurts the player count too, because it's more of a regional title. It's not like a copy a game that sells all over.
Yeah, so definitely played the game. The game was pretty interesting. I got it on Steam sale. It was on sale for $25, so
Steam
I got the
Summer
game
Sale.
for. Yeah, it's going on until July 11th. So if you guys looking for any games on Steam, now is a good time. I saw Suicide Squad for like $20
That needs to go.
with
Well,
with the DLC. I was like, damn.
yeah, that game got like publicly castrated.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, $20. Doom Eternal, $10. You got the W2K24 is $40, which I still think is kind of expensive for that game. Street Fighter 6 going for $30. NBA 2K24 going for $10.
Oh, the new game comes
Yeah,
out. And new game comes out in a month.
yeah. Overdrive 2 is coming out for $4. It actually has local versus.
Okay.
It's another like mech type game, but except you fight other mechs. So it's actually quite a big game. Oh, there's also another game that has been sweeping the online sphere. Everyone's been playing it, and it is let's just say it has been catching everyone's eyes. It's only $5, can run on any PC. It's called Chain Together. Chain it's literally a game where you're in hell and you're chained with up to 3 other players, and all 4 of you guys or all the whole group has to work together to try to get out of hell.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
And
That
it's
sounds
literally
interesting.
$5 on Steam,
Sounds
It's
and
interesting.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna check that out.
so I picked up the game. My girl picked up the game. We've been playing that, and we're currently at the 3rd checkpoint of that game. So we worked our way. We worked our way pretty far up to the point where it doesn't look like hell. Right now, it looks like a regular world.
Okay.
But yeah, the obstacles are a little crazy. But it's a fun game, and it's just like you can yank the other person. You can actually like pull on their chain to like pull them closer to you, or pull them up if they're hanging off that ledge. It's pretty cool. I definitely highly recommend if you need looking for a game to play with the friends on PC. You should definitely play Chain Together. And don't worry, it's one of those games where everyone's PC can run it.
Okay.
And also, don't hate your friends. Do not fight your friends over the game.
Well, your boy Pharaoh. I've been like I said, still slow playing the Rebirth mini games. Um, I hate that little dust bowl thing I gotta do uh with the
Cactars.
cactars. Yeah, I hate that. So I'll probably go for the Aerith one again tonight. Do that like a couple times, see if I get it. And then yeah, just Madden like Jubei. I'm starting to get that football itch. College football 25 drops in like what 2 weeks, 15 days away. And I've been on the podcast circuit. I don't know if you guys seen, but I was on Steve Money and Doodle Show on Point for Gamers. I was on that last Tuesday. And Saturday, I was on the gaming circle with Asante and Everborn Saga. So that was pretty cool. I had a good time with those guys. I'm sure most of you who are in the chat have already seen their content, but if you haven't, be sure to check them out. Throw a like, subscribe to their channel. It was very generous of them to host, so I greatly appreciate it. Had a great time with them. But other than that, that's been about it for me. I've been playing Hellblade. I didn't make it too far. I'm like 2 hours into the game. I guess that is pretty far considering it's not a very long game. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. So with that being said, you got any new? Oh, what's up, Jay? Any new controllers you've been reviewing, Nappy?
I am still stuck on all the controls. Like I said, I've been sick for the past like weekend, so I didn't get to work on anything. I have been using my new eight not 8-bit though. I'm sorry, I haven't used 8-bit though one. I have been using my what's controller is this? Oh, Gilkit. The Gilkit King Kong Pro 3 controller, which is right here.
Ah,
So this controller is for
I like that. I like
PC.
that. I like that blue. How it like kind of glows.
Yeah, so this controller is for PC, Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch. So it's funny because I actually have like a button kit right here. So these were it originally comes with the Switch buttons, and I switched them out. I swapped them out with the Xbox because that's mainly what I play on. Also with this controller, it does have 4 programmable buttons on the back. It actually has these cool looking things like pedals right here that are not like paddles, but they're kind of like I don't know what to call these. I mean, they're paddles, but they're like a different type of paddle. I know you probably seen this before on like the PlayStation Edge Pro controller where they have these little side paddles. And let me just say, I found the perfect combination of leg pedals and these little stubs right here. It just fits perfectly around my hand, and I can hit all the buttons no problem. This is probably the most comfortable set of back buttons or comfortable set that I've ever used, and they're easily you can just pluck them off and put other like paddles or whatever you want on them. So it's a pretty solid controller so far. I actually like it a lot, and it's funny because I actually have 2 of these controllers, and well, I'm sorry, my girlfriend she claimed the other one, so I have to give it to her.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm sorry, she got first, she got dibs. So also, I did play a little bit with this controller, with the 8-bit Do's new Hall Effect Xbox controller. It's nice to use this controller wirelessly with my computer. I still don't understand why a controller with a wireless with a charging dock that also acts as a wireless adapter is like it's more being sold to Xbox as a cool controller, but it's only wired for Xbox and wireless for PC. Again, like
gotta
I
pay for
need to
that tech.
know how much is that wireless tax to have your controller wireless with Xbox? Like how much is it
You have
for
to
them
use
to
their
be like no
proprietary shit. You have to.
like I mean I guess, but I'm like how like why? Like why did 8-bit go this route? You made this controller again charging dock that also acts as a wireless dongle for PC, but when it comes to Xbox, nah, you have to plug this bitch
Because they're
right in.
wireless. They have a specific wireless protocol you have to use. That's why majority of their controllers are wired when they're third party.
I mean, yeah, I
I'm
could
pretty
see that,
sure
but
using proprietary wireless insides will drive the cost of your product up because Microsoft will charge whatever the hell they feel like for that.
they do have the monopoly about charging that. That is true. I'm really again extremely curious about like how much do they charge for something like that? Because this it's not a bad controller. Just there's no point in getting this controller with the charging dock. You might as well get it without the charging dock if you're using this specifically for Xbox. This controller, 8-bit though, I'd used before too. I don't like the fact that it only can store 1 profile compared to the main lineup one. That one is probably my biggest gripe. Is it only can store 1 profile and we're programming the back buttons. And for the other one, that's like the non ultimate version, which is base version. This one seems to be fine. I don't have too many complaints about this one. It's just a basic wired Xbox controller. Feels very, but I will say one thing is that these ultimate controllers are some of the most comfortable controller that I've ever held in my hand. Like the ergonomic design of like the controllers, the way how it like goes around your hand, and the way how all the buttons feel. It feels crisp. It feels extremely comfortable. I think if you're a PlayStation or Xbox, or oh, sorry, if you're a Xbox controller or DualSense controller user, you will find these controllers to be the most comfortablest controllers you ever held in your hand. I'll give 8-bit though as props there. This ultimate controller is extremely comfortable.
Okay. All right. Well, we can jump into our what's on your mind segment, but before we do, I do want to shout out everyone who's in the chat. Legendary Obi, Verge Brizzle, my boy Jay, Stanley, and Cygnus. And as far as the Digital Foundry video, can't really comment on it. I mean, I would like to make it a topic, but I don't think anyone has watched
I did.
that video. Oh, did you watch it?
I did.
Drew?
Yep.
All
Of
right,
course I did.
all right, so
You saw what they was talking about.
go ahead. Well, you go ahead and talk about it, and I guess you can kind of inform us, and that can kind of be part of our what's on your mind. So what was going on with that particular topic regarding the third party games on PS5 running better than on the Xbox?
Their stipulation was talking about APIs, like how, I guess, Sony's graphics API is easier to work with.
Yeah.
Apparently. So their devs are able to get the most out of the hardware, and I get their stance on that, but that still sounds like a whole lot of.
Wait, you mean APU? You talking about APUs?
Yeah. No,
APIs, not APU. The APU
API,
is the processor.
A DirectX, that's an API. Like
they call them APIs. Okay. All right, because they're both based off of Radeon Zen 2. They're
Now we're not talking chips.
We're not talking chips. We're talking software.
We're talking DirectX. We're talking Vulkan. We're talking.
Interesting. They should be very.
Engines have to fit into.
They should be very similar. I mean, they're based off the same AMD chip.
PlayStation uses Vulkan. Obviously, Microsoft uses DirectX because that's their product.
Interesting. It's because I don't know. Because I have to say, like on PC, I know how to switch between Vulkan and DirectX drivers. Heck, that's like the big thing with emulation is switching between the two to see which one works. It's not a matter of which one is. It depends on which one's better, depending on the game engine that you're using. So
it still comes down to devs. Devs have to want to do the work.
Yeah, it
one's
it
easier,
does.
they're going to do that.
Like I said, it really depends on your game engine. Like some games work better with DirectX, some games work better with Vulkans, depending on your game engine and developer. So if somebody's bitching online, then it sounds like a personal problem.
I don't know. I have to watch the video, but
I mean, I have to.
I think a lot of it also comes down to just developer preference. You know, probably spend more time on tasks developing games for the PlayStation 5 than the Xbox. A lot of games do happen to skip the Xbox or come later to the Xbox. So I think a lot of it is they may be spending more time on tasks with the Vulkan engine on PlayStation 5. I'm not sure if you have to use DirectX when you develop for PC. So when they port those games over to PC, are they still on Vulkan? I'm not really. I play on PC, but I don't pay attention to stuff like that. You probably do a little more than that.
Well, again, when I'm on PC, usually I see a lot of stuff on DirectX 11 or DirectX 12 drivers, and those seem to be fine. We have the opportunity to switch to Vulkan if we want to, but
okay.
But like there's like and plus,
but like Horizon, is that on Vulkan or DirectX?
I couldn't, and actually, I'm not sure. I haven't played Horizon in such a long time, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Actually, no. With drivers that we use on even though we use DirectX, we also use like based off of our graphics cards. There's like a second layer of software that we use. Like say for instance, NVIDIA has like their GeForce OpenGL or their GeForce experience, and it depends on your hardware on your PC, but we're very versatile with our stuff. And we have another set of layer based off of our graphics cards that helps translate it to match our hardware. So Intel has theirs, NVIDIA has theirs, AMD has theirs, and depending on it really depends on the developer. Like sometimes the developer will partner up with like AMD, for example, and will focus their games more so around AMD drivers and stuff. it'll still work for Nvidia. It just you may notice that AMD make it like a better experience.
Okay.
It's something we deal with all the time, and most of the time they usually if a consumer is good, they will make sure that it works all across the board between everything. But when they get those little favoritism things, it kind of sucks because the community comes out with their own custom patches until they actually come out with their official patches if they decide to. 9 times out of 10 they do because it looks bad if they don't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we don't encounter it really too much. Usually, all games on PC now supports all the three of the big three. Well, not the big three, because
Big
Intel
two.
has been making a rise. But
Okay.
yeah,
But yeah. And I don't know if Jero had anything to contribute to this particular game running better on PlayStation than they do on Xbox for third party.
I'm a Switch player, sir. Like everything runs better on you guys' systems, as far as I'm concerned.
whoa,
I mean,
you do use Nvidia. You use OpenGL,
There you go.
but I
and
do
you
know
use Vulkan.
we saw a little bit of this with Pentiment. Pentiment launched on Xbox on PlayStation, and it initially ran at 120, where on Xbox it was 60 frames locked, and people were making a big deal out of that. So I mean,
I mean, I still think we're hitting the wall, and like I think it's very obvious that we're hitting the wall where you know the very in-depth, focused people are probably going to see it. They'll see every little pixel that's out of place. The average consumer, I don't think you're getting them to pay attention, man, unless it is very noticeable. I just don't think they care. Like there's this race to the top that I think we've plateaued at for quite some time.
With graphics wise, yes. There's still new hardware needs to release, and I can definitely say that the GDDR7 late this year or early next year, I want that we should see that new RAM and the hardware, which will probably slightly boost performance for a time being. And you got to give it like another 2 years after the new hardware is in a commercial area or public for developers and everyone to actually fully take advantage of some of the new features. As far as chip wise, there is, I don't know. After that Snapdragon X came out and realizing that they had heavily used control environments to boost their numbers to what the Snapdragon X chips can really perform. Now that it's in like public stores, I'm like, yeah, you guys are definitely a mobile chip company for a reason. It's still impressive. It's just I I would love to see that in like a mobile phone. No offense, but they tried. It's impressive for what it can do. It's just yeah, chips are just we're kind of in a stalemate right now with technology. We can't get better graphics, smaller computing units, faster cache rates. It's just we're kind of yeah we're there.
and quick, did anyone get a chance to see the little Capcom show today? And by I mean little, I actually mean little. I think they only show like 3 or 4 so much. Did anybody get a chance to look at that for our
Had
show?
no idea they were doing a show.
Yeah, they did a little show today. They showed the Dead Rising remaster, which they did say was more of a remake. Um, but they showed that. They showed Path of the Goddess, and they announced a demo for it. I think on the 17th, they're gonna drop the demo for that game. And the other game I got a chance to see was they showed a Resident Evil game going mobile. I think it was RE7.
Oh,
I,
wait, it's
I
already on mobile. At
well,
least on iOS. They already got it running,
well
unless they.
they showed something with Resident Evil on mobile. I think. I was like
Um,
I was busy making the kids food, so I wasn't like giving it my full attention. But I had it on um while I was kind of. I saw Path
mm,
of the Goddess. I saw Dead Rising and the Resident Evil game. I knew it was for mobile, so I didn't give it my full attention.
It is Resident Evil 7 though.
Okay.
oh, it is. Oh, interesting. I mean, after seeing what Resident Evil 4 running on the iPhone, when people got their personal reviews, I heard it's been it cooks your phone. Do not charge. I heard do not charge your phone while playing that game.
Yeah, that was one of the topics on the one of the other shows I was on was that people weren't actually buying the mobile version of AAA games, and I was like, yeah, 'cause things probably cook your phone up.
Yeah, I mean,
That was one of the things I was instantly thinking of. 'Cause it's
it,
playing it
it,
natively for iOS.
mm-hmm.
You actually download the game. It's not like you're playing on the cloud or something like that, where maybe your phone isn't taking as much of the load as it would if it played it natively.
Yeah, and
Apparently, also confirmed a new Resident Evil coming.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
that's like water being wet.
yeah, it
If it
seems
isn't.
obvious, so it's like I don't know, but I guess they just said like, "Hey guys, also we got 5 more minutes left.
So,
Here's just letting you know."
all right. Before we dive in our topics, any other gaming related topics that aren't our main talks today that you guys want to kind of talk about? Going once, going twice. All right. First topic of what?
I don't know. I was gonna say, is Marvel vs. Capcom remastered coming to Xbox?
We don't know for sure. I think we've heard like little whispers that due to the outrage that has sparked, I guess they're working on it. Heard whispers of that, but no hard confirmation. So if it makes it there, it makes it there. If not, bots got to find a alternative, whether that be PlayStation 5, Steam, or Split.
Xbox should exclusively support and fund SNK versus Capcom and only like keep it on there just to make it even. And let the official fighting game wars begin.
See, here's the thing. Like when people say that like Microsoft should just like pay for like the labor that it costs to do stuff, then at that point, if I'm Microsoft, I'm like I might as well buy them. If I gotta pay for all your shit to come here, I'll just buy you.
No, just this one, just this one, only one.
Yeah,
It's funny because there's other games a part of it.
But the thing is, it's never only one. It like for every game that has some sort of issue, like the community's like, well, Xbox should just pay, for them to like all their development fees so that they do it. Like, well, if that's the case, they might as well just buy them. That's how I would feel.
mean,
That's how I would feel if I was Microsoft. I'm not gonna keep paying. I'm not gonna keep paying for y'all to do. I'm not gonna keep paying for y'all to make money on my platform.
I mean, it is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that does have it. I mean, we don't know how big the call following is, so let's see how much.
We do know how big it is. The game did not sell extremely well. It sold good.
At first.
It sold good. No, I pulled up the sales for the game last show. It didn't it didn't even hit 10 million copies. Like, I mean, it sold well, but it didn't like it's nowhere near the best selling fighting game. Nowhere near that. It's not even the best selling Capcom fighting game. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 sold more.
Yeah, and then we realized that 2 was better.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not knocking it at all. But it's just it's not as big as we make it out. We just have a very loud community in social media. That's all it is. But I still think the game will sell well. I think it'll probably. I think this will push it over 10 million for sure. I think it'll probably hit 5 or 6 million copies because now that people have like multiple platforms that they game on, I think people are gonna. I think someone who buys it on their Xbox may also buy it on their PlayStation may also buy it on Steam or also buy it on their Switch so they can play it on the go.
I mean, it runs on a potato, like a literal potato.
So I think you'll see that where people buy multiple copies, so they can play on the go. If they don't have like if their main thing isn't like Steam where they have like a ROG or Steam Deck, that's like everyone else probably get like a copy.
Oh shit! I missed it.
Missed what?
Frag Punk had a closed beta.
Yeah, it was this weekend.
Ah, crap! I
I
missed
heard
it.
people playing it this weekend.
No, yeah, they're showing videos all over Steam, and I missed. Damn it! Oh well,
Yeah,
fuck it.
yeah. With that said, we can jump into our first topic of the day. Let me get the timestamp because I already missed one time. I'm gonna go back after the show's over and get that. But let me put this timestamp down. All right. First topic of the day. Helldivers has lost 90% of its player base since um its launch. Which is pretty drastic. I don't uh want to make it seem like it's totally doom and gloom for the game because I checked the game still has like a decently healthy player count. It was like around 40,000 when I checked on Saturday. So that's not bad for a live service game. It's still one of the top 5 games played on Steam. It's totally dropped off on PlayStation though, so the PlayStation community isn't really supporting it as much. But I mean, we were kind of saying that from the jump that it was mainly being supported by the PC. But I mean, I guess the main reason I'm bringing it up is because what is it next week the beta for Concord goes live, and is PlayStation showing an ability to actually do multiplayer well and retain a healthy player base. So that's kind of where I'm kind of going with this topic. Um, Nappy, as a PC player who played Helldivers pretty heavily, how are you feeling about this? And the whole PSN fiasco that kind of drove the player count down. That was like the first thing that really took a big hit at it. And how do you feel like this will impact future live service titles that are coming to your platform?
All right, my camera's acting funny, so bear with me.
Yeah, your green screen is
Um,
acting funny, but you're on
yeah,
point.
yeah. I think my camera's a little hot. I forgot I got to turn the AC on in my apartment. It is still feel like 80 degrees in here still, and
Oh,
I'm just
it was pretty cool today. Like 72 today.
well, my apartment's still up it's still up high, so my AC hasn't kicked on at all, and I just turned my camera on, so it's a little hot. But I think yeah. Besides that, I'm looking at the active player count right now. 43 minutes ago, so currently it's sitting at 29,710, which is I'll route it up to 30,000. It's not bad. It's still extremely low compared to its all-time peak, which was 450 million. But at the same time, it's summertime.
450,000.
Yeah, 450,000, not million, thousand. But looking at this, it's summertime. A lot of people are outside, so the fact that the player counts drop like this doesn't surprise me at all. This happens all the time, especially during the summertime. People have lives,
Yeah.
so like for the fact that people are like, "Oh my God, this doom and gloom, it's over, it's over." I'm like, nah, it's fine. Look, okay, it's summertime. We outside. It's hot. We'll rock out with our shirts off, jumping in pools, spending family time, going on vacation. Look, Jero couldn't even bring his Switch with him. So, I mean, it's kind of weird if you go on vacation to game. Well, I won't say weird, but your family
Well,
will look at you funny.
everyone vacations differently. You know, some people they go on vacation, they don't really want to go out. They just want to be away from where they're at.
That is true, but if you have if you're vacationing with family, and they tell you or with your girlfriend, and she tells you to put that game down, this is a family time. I mean,
Better listen.
oh God, here we go.
But yeah,
But yeah, it's going to be fine. I mean, yeah, it's the lowest it's ever been. Do I think the game is dead? No.
I don't think the
There's
game
still
is
Helldivers.
dead.
Helldivers are still out there. There's just like I said, people outside for a little bit. They
But-
are enjoying themselves.
So
That's all.
So I'm gonna ask you this: around the time that whenever they drop their next big update, it is a live service game, so there's gonna be an update at some point. So let's say they release an update in the fall. Do you see it recovering to maybe around 100,000 players again, or you just think it's do you think it kind of gets anywhere around that 100,000 mark again, or do you think that the PSN damage and things like that have just kept it to where it may not reach that high mark where it
Um,
stays in the Steam top 10 through the end of the year?
I have to say that I think they do need to work on some stuff. Honestly, if they were to release a patch around fall, I'm not sure if it's going to get up to that 458
No,
thousand that
I
they
just said
got.
I just said 100,000, not even not
A
anywhere.
hundred, 100,000. It's possible. It depends. I mean, like honestly, like the developers of Helldiver 2, I don't want them to get stagnant and feel comfortable or safe. I mean, the game industry is extremely competitive, and I'm curious to see if they can even get
Yeah, I'm
some of the
asking.
PlayStation players back because of Black Ops 6 is coming out in
Yeah,
October.
that's why I'm
So
asking because it's a bunch of big, competition coming in the fall
I
in a live
I
service realm.
I can see it bouncing back a little bit. I mean, I maybe if they get to 100, if they get to 100K concurrent players on Steam, they have done a good job if they will release a patch because now looks like everyone's excited for First Descendant.
Yeah, which
Literally
launches tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Or did it
My
launch
literally
today?
my
I thought it launched
no
today.
it allow you to download the game,
Okay.
then allow you to play it. Actually, mine's just patching right now.
Okay. I'll download it on Steam
It'll be
because
available at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it
okay.
says 3 a.m. Eastern, and mine's is already patching.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
for those who don't know, we're gonna be arranging like a community night where, we'll probably do like a live broadcast on the VGP channel and you guys can rock out with us while we play First Descendant. We just gotta figure out a day we're gonna
yeah, and we're also gonna
Absolutely,
test. Also,
gotta
I'll be
do it.
test. Yeah, I'll also be testing out some controllers while I'm at it too. So, um, but back to Helldivers 2. Yeah, like I said, Helldivers 2 is going to be falling off. First Descended is like it's one of the live server competition. I'm pretty sure there's other live service games coming out. So, yeah, Helldivers, you guys can't be stagnant no more. You guys have to give players a reason to come back. I mean, right now we still are in the same two tier trees as far as grind those metals for materials. Them hardcore gamers probably already got every single weapon in the game.
There's
Yeah.
no content in that game, bro.
I mean, I won't say there's no
No,
content.
there's
It's.
only like 6 different mission types, bro. Like once you've done it, it's done. They they need to add something to the game.
I mean, the Helldivers 1 had like 6 different factions, and this one only has 3.
That's what I mean.
So
There's no content in this game. Like
I
what you're
mean,
saying does not
they
invalidate
have
the
stuff to
fact.
lean. No, I'm saying they have stuff to lean on. They can start bringing in some
But
of these
they
other
haven't.
factions.
But they haven't.
Yeah, I
So
know they're probably planning on to. There's no way they're not going to leave it like this with just 3 factions.
I don't know.
and it would be great if FC joined us. We'll see. We'll reach out to him, see if he can join us for a night. See if Lady gives him a bit of freedom.
I
But
don't know. Well, he done with school, so he don't
yeah.
got no more excuses.
But yeah. Since you started, I was gonna go to you anyway. Jube, what are your thoughts on Helldivers losing its player base and Sony's ability to um really capture the live service market and have success in that live service market?
Where's the content?
Have you
That's really
played?
what I want to know. What?
Have you played Helldivers 2? I know I haven't.
Yeah, of course I played it.
Okay. Uh, so you feel like it's a lack of content, or you
Absolutely.
feel like a lack of
It's
content
one.
is the issue, or do you feel like it's just a
It's
contributing
it's
factor?
a it's a contributing factor. It is not the primary issue at all. But and then I'm pretty sure the PSN sign-in thing just had people not even wanting to touch it. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
especially if they're forced to.
Oh, we're not forced to on
No,
Helldivers 2. That's just the
you're
rest
not.
of the games.
You're not forced to. They walked that back, but it still had uh a negative impact on the game overall because
Yeah,
they still
like it left
didn't.
a bad taste in people's mouths. Like it's
Yes,
still
it left a bad taste in people's mouths. But did Ghost of Tsushima too? Did Ghost of Tsushima drop yet on PC? Not Ghost.
yeah.
Yes, it did. It is
And it
sitting
did
at the
pretty
very
well.
positive reviews.
Yeah, I'm about to say it did leave a bad taste, but it did do what? But Ghost of Tsushima dropped, and that was the first game that dropped that required a PS. And
Yep, that
and the game is
and
doing pretty well.
yeah, it's doing pretty well. Some people didn't buy it because of the whole PSN account thing. So now God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC, and that one requires it too.
I mean,
People don't like the fact that PlayStation is at requiring a login for single player games, but hey, they're trying to make it seem like the PlayStation market is growing. And I just think these companies need to realize that, like, hey,
honestly,
there's why are you diving into us? We're not buying your hardware. We're sticking to PC.
I
Stop
don't.
making it look like that we're on your platform when we're not.
Well, the thing is, I think a lot of people, I would bet that a lot of the people who bought Ghost of Tsushima on PC are people that already have PS. I would dare to say a lot of them, a good
That would
percent,
make the buy the
a
game
good.
twice then.
A lot of people want to buy the game twice, especially if you get double trophies. I've heard a lot of PlayStation gamers say um they'll get it again to double trophy up. I've definitely heard, and then people want to play it again at a higher resolution, higher frame rate. So yeah, a lot of people buy those games twice.
That is hard for me to believe. That you because the PlayStation 5. I'm not saying that like yeah, the PlayStation 5 has issues sometimes where it cannot play most games. It can't high demanding graphic games. It can't play at like 4K 60. So I mean, I guess I can understand but at the same time, like
I mean, we're talking
if
about
you
people that
have,
have like a decent disposable income, where they don't mind.
I don't want to get too much into a United States economy, but that 33%, you know, inflation to compare to the average raise in salary 3%. If you have disposable income, man, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not with. I can't relate to you.
Yeah, some people out here hurting for sure. A lot of people, not some, but yeah. I didn't want to cut you off, Jubei. Did you have any more thought?
Um, yeah, like I said, I think it's a content thing. I think it's like it's a really it's crazy to see like it be all hyped and everybody's like, yeah, we're playing this game, and then it just kind of goes away. And I don't really know what they're going to do at least this year to kind of fix
Well,
that. Like
um, uh,
once COD comes out, like that's it.
yeah, but I'm saying imagine the people who had a crew that they were running with, and then and then the country that their friends were in got excluded. Now they can't play the game.
Yep. I mean, but that's what we're not talking about here. Like there are the how many people just got kicked out of the game
Yeah. So I
because
mean,
they're in a country that doesn't support PSN, so they can't even play anymore, even though like that's wild to me.
yeah, because
Like the way to shoot yourself in the foot.
I think
and
it was actually more so Sony's call more than the actual developers, because the developers,
No, no, of course it's Sony's fault, but
yeah, the developer is at the mercy of the
that's
publisher.
Sony's game.
Yeah.
That's Sony's game. So at the end of the day, that's it. That's their game.
yeah, it was funny. They actually had to pull back the. I remember the developer pulled back the tweet because they made a cape that was based off of all the negative reviews scale that they received after that PSN account thing, and he was going to publish it on as an actual cape you can get in Helldivers 2. Yeah, you got to take that tweet down. I think Sony did not like that.
Hey,
You can't make fun of your boss.
well, they're not their boss technically. They don't own them. They're more like partners.
A partners with a gun to the back of his head.
Yeah, they're more like partners. Um, But yeah, Zero, you've been very patient on this topic. What are your thoughts regarding Helldivers to loss of players and kind of what this kind of projects towards Sony's future live service initiatives?
I mean, overall, I'm sure they're not necessarily happy about the loss of player base because I mean it's a lot of people. However, I am sure for a game that had to exceed far beyond expectations, um, it is certainly something you can live with. What I think you said there are around 40,000 just concurrent players currently.
This weekend they were.
No,
Nappy looked it's like 30,000, but it's Monday. You know.
it's a
Okay,
Monday. This is as of right now.
so not too bad. I was looking up just some other folks, so I saw like Rainbow Six Siege, which granted has been out for quite some time, but seemed to be just from this past weekend 57 players playing about an hour ago, from today, not this past weekend. Playing about an hour ago, so
57.
57,000. Yeah,
Okay.
That's healthy for a game that old. That is actually really healthy.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Anything drop below like 10,000, that is a multiplayer game. That's when you go into an oh shit moment.
right, which doesn't seem to be Helldiver's issue just yet. But I think we sort of already talked about it. What really comes down to is just content. Like I'm sure the Sony thing didn't help, but people can be very forgiving if they like the game that they play. But as far as I played it, I've probably only got maybe 10 to 15 hours at best, and that might be very generous. Of Helldivers 2 play. I liked the game, but I knew it wasn't going to necessarily be something for me specifically. It didn't scratch the itch in games like that I tend to like. So, but that's perfectly fine. So, they just sort of have to come up with something interesting. Like Helldivers always had an uphill battle, but really not necessarily uphill so much as like they just climbed higher than they've ever thought they could.
Yeah.
No one expected this game to do as well as it did because the first one didn't do that well. And people really leaned into the whole super democracy of it all, and the internet took it and ran wild with it, which, if anything is telling, if the internet picks up something and it becomes a meme, it isn't going to last that much longer anyway.
Yeah.
Right? The speed of the internet is way too fast for people to continue to be like, oh, we're spreading democracy across the galaxy. We've moved on to something else. And so now we're just left with the folks.
We're with the real democracy right now is in trouble.
So we're left with the folks who just like the game and like playing it, like grinding it, like figuring out different stuff. But I say time and time again, my perfect live service game is Monster Hunter, and because constant updates, constant abilities to learn, constant things to
That comes out
unlock.
this fall, right?
What are you saying?
That
The
comes out
newest
this
one?
fall.
No, that's Wilds is 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. That's coming out early next year. So usually Monster Hunter is around it's either going to be January or February or March. It's usually going to be February or March based off the last two games.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I think the Helldivers 2 team needs, and hopefully they're doing this now, is to begin to ramp up the content schedule. Again, I just don't think they expected as many people to get into this. And when you have so many people, they need that content. They need that stuff to continue playing your game. So now that it's settled down to, I guess, what probably is its quote unquote normal numbers,
For audience.
we will see how far the game will go from here. I don't think right now this is any sort of indication of how Sony might be managing this, only because this game, again, just exceeded expectations. This is no disrespect to the devs. Like they made a great product.
Yeah.
People really liked it, but I just don't think they thought it was going to blow up in the way that it did. And some games like this take forever to blow up. Like that it felt, that it did in its initial release is something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at Fortnite. Like when their Save the World ship was a flip, and Battle Royale just kind of came out of nowhere for them. So
yeah, and And it took them forever to really get Battle Royale to cook.
To like where exactly now
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like
Well,
that's why they went the platform route. It's like there's never gonna be a dearth of content. Like there's always something to do in that damn game for
Yeah.
everybody.
so Helldivers 2 always had a decent community, even when it was just the original Helldivers, it was top down. It always had a decent community on PC, and I think that kind of helped it establish its community when Helldivers 2 launched. In regards
I
to
think the
some of
first
these,
one sold like 100K though. Like it's not like it sold
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, but it had a
No,
decent,
yeah.
but it had a decent community. So,
It did, and
Still.
also it was on PSP Vita as well.
um, but kind of what I'm getting at is that it already had a community. What I'm kind of leaning towards, what I'm asking specifically in regards to future titles, do you think the PC community is going to be as receptive to those titles after seeing this, based on this huge player drop that we've seen over the pretty much since this, because it was still pumping around 100,000 plus around the time that the PSN news came out. So,
Right.
I
do you think
I
the live
can.
service PC community is going to be as receptive to Concord? I always get the name of Haven's game wrong. Is it Fair Play or Fair Game?
Fair games.
Yeah, Fair Game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fair Game. And what other live service title are they working on? Concord, Fair Game, and one other one, and Marathon. I think we're going to be as receptive in the
Marathon
PC
isn't
community.
live service though.
Marathon isn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would be. But what I guess to jump into that, if Marathon was live service, Marathon would probably be the true test.
Yeah.
Because it is the return of a somewhat beloved franchise, I guess. Some people like to say they really love it. Whatever.
And a trusted developer.
Yeah, with a trusted developer is like, okay, like what are we gonna do here? Whereas Concord and you said Fair Games,
Yeah.
it can be up in the air. I think it's really gonna come down to just how fun those games are, particularly for like Concord.
I've seen some footage from Concord already.
Yeah.
We talking? They cooking, or does it not look like?
The community has not been totally receptive thus far. Those who have had access to it, the beta hasn't gone live yet. It's like an open.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, they
it's
got 7
definitely
weeks
not-
left.
It's definitely not even coming close to fucking Overwatch, bro. Like it's
Overwatch 2, I mean,
Mm-mm.
you
And I
know,
think
Overwatch 2 is in the dirt right now.
Yep. That and I know what I said.
And that would be interesting, right? Like, 'cause some of it might just be, can it scratch whatever itch people want from Overwatch 2? If it can just get that, it might be okay. But you're right, that still remains to be seen, and particularly if early impressions aren't promising, then we're still looking for a cool hero-based shooter to, be the new Overwatch.
And Marvel Rivals, what about that? That's
And Marvel Rivals, I hear medium things about Marvel Rivals.
it's to be announced. It's not. We don't have a date yet. So,
No. But I've seen folks play it, and I've seen people talk, and again, so far they seem to find it okay.
The other thing is, who's gonna like really carry this game? Is it gonna be?
It's gonna be
is
the
it gonna
PC
be-
community. I mean, I think
I'm-
that's one of the main reasons I'm bringing up this topic is because it doesn't really seem like the PlayStation community really has a palette for
They don't
PlayStation
play online
doing.
games like
they
that.
don't play live. No, they do play
They
online
do
games.
play
It's
online
2K and 2K, Madden, Call of Duty, and
So,
Fortnite.
I think
That's literally it on PlayStation.
I think what we're starting to find, even when we like look at all of PlayStation first party, outside of the big, tentpole titles as they call them, there isn't really a palette for their first party content, and they're trying to find they're trying to find that next Horizon. They're trying to find that next Ghost of Tsushima. But they haven't done that this generation. They tried it with Forspoken. They tried it with Stellar Blade. They tried it with Returnal. Like they're looking for that, but their community just doesn't really have a palette for their first party new IP, or even the second party deals that they're making that are new IP. They just haven't been very digestible to their community. And so it's like, is the PC community going to kind of pick up the slack with these new titles? And I guess I'm looking at Helldivers as kind of like, kind of to forecast what we may see in the coming.
We will see. So PC gamers, what happens is the first like week, a lot of people going to try it, but then you always check back on that game like 2 months later.
With Concord, the beta isn't free. You have to pre-order the game in order to do the beta.
Yeah, there's going to be some
pre-ordering beta stuff.
Yeah,
you have to.
Concord made that decision, and
it
didn't work in their failure.
So I can see it working a little. See the Concord beta, the numbers are going to look inflated in a sense, because for every beta purchase, you can share it with 5 friends.
Yep, I forgot about that. Yep.
So
you gotta get one person to get the beta.
Yeah, so one person gets the beta. So if 100,000 people pre-order the game, you got 500,000 players potentially for your beta. So
I guess that's how they get around the pre-order. Because why am I pre-order? Why you give me access for pre-order? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, bring back demos. I mean, we've been doing good with demos. We literally just had a Next Fest on Steam where there was a crap ton of demos that people were playing and enjoying.
I think when you're confident in your product, you do the demo.
Yeah, they don't seem confident enough to do an open beta.
So
Warhammer canceled their open beta. They're shook.
Yeah. So, and a part of it is also, do you have the capacity for an open beta too? Are you willing?
Which is a big thing,
because that's another part of believing in your product. If you believe in your product, you'll invest in having that capacity. So it's if you expect to do certain numbers, you'll do a open beta. But maybe if you're not expecting to do those numbers, you don't want to, pay for that type of server capacity and that type of player base to just come and eat you up and then tell you your game sucks, not buy it. So, I mean, I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I still think some of it is inevitably going to just fall down on what this game is, and will it, for Concord and being it as a shooter as it is, it's what's the gunplay like? Are the characters interesting? Is there kind of a lore behind it that sort of gets us sucked in? There's so many, particularly for any multiplayer game, I think there's so many little things that can shift it in any way or any favor that really captures people and gets people to where they want to play this and are interested in it and really want to continue it going. And of course, it remains to be seen if that's going to work or not. But X Defiant is out, and I assume it's doing okay.
It's doing okay. It hit 11 million players in its first month. So that's pretty good.
But I would think that what you notice is the talk around X Defiant isn't very big. People are playing the game.
Yeah.
But just at least from a video game social media side, there don't seem to be a lot of people talking about the game.
Yeah, it hasn't picked up a hype train, but people are playing it, and it has
people are playing it.
Has a decent player base on every console. I think it was in the top 10 on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. So it is doing well.
I played a couple of matches. I had a good time. I think it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, what's actually?
I feel like X Defiant is the game that holds you off till Call of Duty, though. That's
it. Honestly, it's the gunplay is not better than Call of Duty. It is a breath of fresh air, but X Defiant did have a issue recently with cheaters and stuff that they're working on. Turns out people got pinpoint laser accuracy with certain guns.
Oh, okay.
And they're pulling off stuff, so they're trying to fix it up right now. I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 already has cheating software that people have already showcased before the game even came out.
So
Like they already
the
are
beta
trying to
hasn't gone
sell it.
live yet. When does the beta go live for Black Ops 6?
I'm not sure because the game's I think it's supposed to be like somewhere in August. But the problem is that people are already developing cheating software. By the way, for console as well. Cheating software works on console and PC, and so people can cheat and get those laser pinpoint accuracy in Call of Duty. So I'm curious how how Microsoft is going to handle that.
I hate when they ban gamer tag. You lose your whole library and all that. But
Yeah.
don't cheat, I guess. That's that. But yeah, I think we kind of hit this topic on the head. We can jump into topic number 2 of the day. Let me throw that timestamp down. Because I want to be good to the people who watch this show later. All right. So topic number 2 of today. Assassin's Creed confirms that remakes are on the way. Not sure how everyone's feeling about this.
Remake 2 and Black Flag, and we're good. I don't care about anything else.
Don't care about anything else. Okay, well since you started,
Jesus, this man jumped in.
yeah. Jubei is definitely gonna lead off this topic, but Ubisoft has come out and said that they are working on some Assassin's Creed remakes. I was asked how I felt about this over the weekend on the gaming circle, and I made it known off the jump that I am a fan of remakes on games that are over 20 years old. I am not the selfish gamer that thinks like, oh, remakes are bad, because I understand that generations have gone by, and that hopefully there's a new batch of gamers who are now playing games who haven't experienced the same games that I had a chance to experience, and a remake is there for them. It's not always for every remake is not for me, and I understand it. And I'm not gonna be mad every time a remake gets announced. I just hope it's a quality remake, and that I'm able to enjoy conversations with new groups of people who played the game. Yeah, Jubei, since you decided to be so passionate, jump in. What are your thoughts?
My favorite Assassin's Creed game is 2. So
Okay.
if we talking remakes, I would love to see one remade, and then by not remastered but remade. Like, stop doing like all these weird tailing missions. Like flesh that shit out. There's some really good things in 1 that I wish that they elaborated on. But like, okay, I need you to remake 1, 2, and
the whole trilogy. The original trilogy.
I mean,
would be good.
I don't know how you remake 3 besides making the intro not be like 9 hours long.
Man,
that is the whole point of a remake and not a remaster.
I mean, you were part of a tribe, man. You gotta know the struggle was real for the natives.
So wait.
But I didn't have to sit through like 10 hours of struggle though.
The beautiful part about remakes is that they are remakes, and you can remake them and correct things that were kind of wrong originally.
That's hoping that they realize that was the problem with their game.
But yeah. Any other thoughts on the Assassin's Creed, or did I cut you off?
No, I mean, how the new Assassin's Creed comes out is also going to have me feeling like, okay, if they do remake these old games, like, are we going to be getting more of this Odyssey like type, or are we going to get something else?
But I was curious about
they need to remake Unity for real, because that was just before its time. Like, hardware was not keeping up.
I will say this. As much as I'm a fan of them doing remakes, at anything over 20 years, I'm cool with. I will say I do think it's time for Ubisoft to find that new IP. I'm not saying it has to be a big budget AAA, but they need to find a new IP that maybe they can grow into a AAA experience.
They even at the very least, like, if you get back to what these games were originally, like, you can make something out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it doesn't have to be Assassin's Creed, but like, you definitely were cooking something with like the first couple games with Desmond and the Animus and all this other type of stuff, which got thrown by the wayside at this point. And so like you have an opportunity to build upon the world that you started, do something different with it, do something interesting.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's just all dependent on what they want and how they want to work it.
Yeah, because Ubisoft is starting to feel a little bit stale to me personally. I would like to see them venture out a little bit more. I know that Skull and Bones was a failure. Trying to get that up and running, but I want to see them. As one of the largest publishers in the industry, I do want to see some new things.
Yep.
Zero, what are your thoughts on these Assassin's Creed remakes?
The hugest Assassin's Creed fan. Although, admittedly, like, there is a point I do just sort of want to go back and play them. Black Flag, I stopped at Brotherhood.
Okay.
I haven't played, and to me, I had an absolute blast with Brotherhood. If they manage to bring that back somehow, sign me all the way up. I'm here for it.
I feel like everyone has an Assassin's Creed game that they love. Like they were good. That's a good It's a good solid franchise that I feel like most people partook in.
Yeah, and to the point where it says like me not being a fan is not me saying they're bad games. I just don't occasionally have a lot of time to put into them. I just much rather do something else. But I think if I'm going to use God of War as the example, but not what I'm specifically trying to say. But if they God of War this and really drastically shift how the original games play, then I think there can be something interesting there.
Yeah.
You know, these games were at the time stealth games. It was all about that espionage sort of, but you know, it was about stealth, hiding in crowds, jumping in hail bins, doing all this other type of stuff. If we can get back to that and really focus on like that stealth aspect, I think that could be something interesting. That could be the Splinter Cell that everybody's looking for. You know, where we're really hiding in plain sight in Europe, and you know, slow it down a bit, maybe make the fights a bit more meaningful. Definitely, I think you take please do the reverse open world approach where you do the Yakuza approach. You make a small world that just feels really big, as opposed to a big world that feels empty.
Yeah, like more lively.
Yeah, like
make lively towns.
I said more than ever. Open
you know,
world
like
is the worst thing to happen to game.
Yeah, if you're in like 16th century France and you're in sort of this medium town where you can actually go into the church and talk to people and come out and maneuver through all these insides in the buildings, which is what you would do as an assassin in this time, or you know, in whatever weird world they want to make it. You know, get to that point. I think pull away from the newer Assassin's Creeds, and what it gives you the opportunity to is gauge interest.
Yeah.
You know, you don't necessarily have to break the bank on a remake and or remaster, but if you do one that seems pretty good by just switching up the formula, giving people something different, you gauge interest for the next quote unquote mainline Assassin's Creed game, which could shift the whole formula and it won't do exactly what you want, Pharaoh, but it will change it up enough for people to be like, this is kind of new now.
Yeah.
Like, we've basically started all over again. So I'm not upset with it. I can see it. And I agree with you, Pharaoh. I'm not upset with most remake and or remasters, particularly if they're 20-something years ago. Like, the first Assassin's Creed was on PS2?
Xbox 360.
Xbox 360.
Yep.
So PS3.
Yeah, and it is actually like 23. We looked it up the other.
I mean, a whole swath of gamers have been born and now are adults with disposable income.
Yeah.
So like, and they probably never play. Why would they play it? Quite frankly, like, they probably don't hold up very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I got my own list of games that should be if we're talking about full-fledged remakes, I have a list of games because that not only old players probably haven't played, but the new players can get the stories for. As much see the thing about Black Flag is surprisingly one of my favorite Assassin's Creed because even though it stand out, it was a really good pirate game.
Yeah.
It was really good for its time, and actually is better than Skull and Bones. It's funny how people play Skull and Bones, and people are like, "Yeah, just go play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You'll have a better experience." That it's really sad on Ubisoft's part that one of their oldest games is better than Skull and Bones, and it's not even a full fledged pirate game. It's more so, well, it is. It's a Assassin's pirate game. So, but games like Assassin's Creed Chronicles, which took place in China, that was a 2D side scroller that a lot of people didn't play because again, it was a 2D side scroller. I think that should get a remake and become 3D. You have Assassin's Creed Rogue, which was the one assassin that actually went back to the Templars. I realized he said the assassins were bad. He got betrayed. That is a story that I haven't seen that game on console. I've seen a couple people play it on PC, but I have not seen a lot of people play it on console. So Assassin's Creed Rogue would be a good remake to tell that story for people. Another Assassin's Creed I think that can besides Assassin's Creed Liberation, Assassin's Creed Rogue, or not Assassin's Creed, I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed Liberations is actually a PSP game. I'm thinking some people played it, not a lot of people play it, but this one was the Assassin's Creed during the slave trade. This was a black female who was an assassin. She was a really good character.
Has there
people
been
forgot about her.
Slave Assassin's Creed game? And I don't mean it in that way. But
Assassin's Creed Liberations. That was it.
Huh.
You were playing as a female black assassin. Everyone forgot about her. It was on the PlayStation.
No, I didn't forget.
Yeah, because
Jube didn't forget.
They made big.
Oh, it's that one. Oh, okay.
And as a matter of fact, he actually had a cross appearance in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, you got the bonuses for the different dresses you were wearing at the time.
People forget how many Assassin's Creeds have been made. They've been not all of them have been the big AAA ones. They've made smaller Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so like they have a bunch of smaller Assassin's Creed stories that can go off of. That's why I'm saying like the one woman in China, the Assassin's Creed Chronicles, everyone forgot about that because that was a 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
That they can make that 3D, do that Assassin's Creed character some justice. Assassin's Creed Liberation was stuck on mobile. I mean, you could play it on PC, but let's face it, a lot of people even though we have a lot of PC gamers, let's breathe some new life to Assassin's Creed Liberations. Now is probably not as a better time more than anything else. I mean, black women are showing their power. They show they could do something. You could remake that game. Black Flag, as much as I love it, I would love to see a remake of it just to see modern graphics, to see more fleshed out towns. And at the same time, though, I did play it recently, and Assassin's Creed Black Flag still holds up. So part of me wants it, but part of me understands why I don't get it. The only thing I will say is if they need to bring back Assassin's Creed multiplayer. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that was some of the fun I like to have where you get to play around as a townsperson or play around as an assassin and you have to hunt people down. I would love to see that come back because that was a fun thing to do.
I'll take Assassin's Creed multiplayer if they stop freaking microtransactions to death in the single player.
I don't know if
Ubisoft
could ever do it.
I will take that trade-off. Any day.
I don't know if Ubisoft could ever do it.
Oh my god!
If the multiplayer took off in a way where it wasn't locked into one title and they had to make a new multiplayer every time, like it was kind of like a Call of Duty Warzone type thing, or something like that, or like a GTA Online where it's kind of separate from the mainline title. You know,
they could make it separate. It's weird because they do have, like, again, we have so many different assassins.
Yeah, like
many.
If they could attach each of the worlds that they made, from all the Assassin's Creed, and like they just add one at a time. I think
Create a simulation world where, like, hey, we wonder what will happen if Altair was a face against Desmond, or have Edwards from Black Flags face against damn, I really forgot. Actually, no, Black Flag had 2 assassins because of DLC. The black guy who was his right hand man eventually became his own assassin.
then like
He had a machete and everything.
and then even like team based co-op mission, like that'd be cool. Like
Bring back Unity then. Just bring back Unity. But yeah, they, like I said, I have my 3 were the Liberations, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and Assassin's Creed Chronicles, because those are 3 side stories that a lot of people don't know about. It will be great to make remix of those games, so that way those games can get the proper vision on consoles that they should have gotten.
All right.
So,
and there's a lot of noise in the community about a Splinter Cell remake. How are we feeling about that? Like, do we feel like maybe like Splinter Cell is not as big as to them as it is to us, because we're just not getting, we haven't been getting any type of anything regarding that title.
100% yes. What is the other game I keep harping on? Like, it's not as big as people wanted to make it out to be, and I'll never believe. And inevitably, I feel like I've been vindicated because like it didn't come out, but the multiplayer mode from The Last of Us, Factions.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, Factions is coming! Like, we need Factions back." Nobody played Factions. Bro. What are we talking about? Like, some of you people played Factions.
Hey, there's a somebody made a dedicated server just for Factions.
I'll say,
listen, yeah, people like it. I know they played it. I'm just saying, we're not gonna sit up here and pretend in a world where Halo was king that people were checking for Factions. We weren't. And to insist otherwise is to lie. It is just to lie. And we've all loved a multiplayer game that like just didn't hit. You know, God of War Ascension. No, it was God of War 3. 3 had a multiplayer mode. Bring it back, please. I'll do anything to play that mode again, man. I'll do anything. But I'm not going to sit and pretend that like people were checking for that mode. So just like God of War, just like Factions, and just like Splinter Cell, I firmly believe people like have very fond memories of Splinter Cell, but like there wasn't anybody checking for that game like that. Like they're just not, bro. It's not happening.
I just find it hilarious how I brought up Splinter Cell and somehow it leaked back into Sony's failure in multiplayer, which is kind of like what the last.
I mean, to do it that way, it's just the one thing. Like, I don't know, man. It always like it's quite frankly. Well, it's still a Sony game.
Sony specializes in failing at multiplayer. Like, let's just admit it. Like they have a horrible history with multiplayer. They have more nostalgia for their multiplayer than actual success for their multiplayer.
I don't doubt that. R.I.P. to Fat Princess, one of the greatest games they've ever made. But no, man, like I just don't think Sam Fisher is that popular.
Well, we gotta remember also, Tom. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Splinter Cell was Xbox exclusive, so it didn't really get for a while. It didn't get that that third party push to where it was everywhere and people got a chance to really, had a chance to build up a massive base. They were locked into one platform, a platform that was extremely successful, but it didn't have its maximum penetration market.
And you know what? Because you said that, Pharaoh, it made me rethink my thought that I just thought, and perhaps I'm looking at this in not the proper way. Perhaps no, people aren't really checking for Splinter Cell, but in 2002, 2004, whenever the games were out,
it was
like maybe that was okay. Remember, like this is of the era where games didn't have to do $1 billion.
Yeah.
To be the next thing. So like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell did respectively fine, I assume, because they made like 8 of these games.
Yeah, they made like a ton of them. Yeah, I know they did good.
Yeah.
I know they did good for the time, but
yeah.
Maybe
and
not
so
as
it's
good
like
as Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so it's like, well, if I adjust my perspective and look at it in that way, then people still not checking for this game. But I do like the era of just letting games come out that don't have to shatter records and have million player counts at all times. Like,
Yeah.
I love the idea that if a Splinter Cell did come out, it's just a cool little game, man. Make a
So-
good amount of money and then be gone.
Now, there is one game from the old Xbox era that I would like to be remade that I don't think anyone talks about. But it's
Burnout?
no, it's actually not
Oh.
Burnout. It's from one of my favorite universes that
Viva Pinata?
it got neglected over the years. Yobi said that it made 32 million in sales during the Xbox 360 era. So yeah, extremely successful.
Extremely successful.
But yeah,
Listen,
for some reason it just gets ignored.
I can be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong.
I want the game back, but I'm just saying, in Ubisoft's eyes, they don't look at it with the same love that
Hi,
we
the
do.
Tasmanian Tiger.
But no, the franchise that I really want to see come back, and I want to see the story continue, is the Chronicles of Riddick. I want to see that continue through video games. I like the movies. I like the game. The game that they made was fire for the time. I would like to see that be remade and then continue. I don't want to see another like Riddick movie where Vin Diesel old ass. I want to just kind of continue. He can voice the character. That's one I want to see.
You know, it's sad. It will probably never happen.
It probably won't. But Riddick is such a fantastic character, and the universe fits perfectly for video games.
I have no doubt about it. I imagine, like most stuff, like a lot of this is tied to the movies, and I looked it up. Universal Studio makes them, so if you're asking Universal Studios to lend out a license to a video game starring Vin Diesel, they're going to pick Fast and the Furious every single time.
Oh my god! They did make a Fast and Furious game. Everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, Fast and Furious will not sell. I think the only time Fast and Furious sold well is when it was paired with Forza,
Paul Walker
for the Forza DLC. And,
I can't even. What would that even be? Is it just their cars?
I don't know, but they did have
cars jumping from space.
Because aren't their cars already in the game?
They did
for the most part.
Yeah, but they had a Forza. They had a Fast and Furious Forza DLC for Horizon. I think it was Horizon 4, right? Am I right, G-Bay? Was it Horizon 4 or Horizon 3?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
No, it was Horizon 3.
Okay. I know it was Horizon 3 or 4 that they had
Yeah.
They had the Fast and Furious DLC,
Sure.
and that's the only like Fast and Furious that sold well on video games. But yeah, nobody wants to see. I think people are worn out for Fast and Furious a little bit.
Calm down now. Well, what? Hold on. Calm down. Hold on.
I think people are a little bit
Easy.
worn out.
Easy.
I'm all about family. You know how I get down, Daryl.
Family fast cars.
Fast cars, Coronas.
All about
Coronas.
I'm all about family and Coronas. You know how I get down. But yeah, so I don't think anyone else has anything to say regarding the Ubisoft and remakes general topic. We can jump into our final topic of today. And I think it's kind of the biggest topic, kind of hit the net over the week while we were out. And that is Xbox and Amazon agreed to a partnership to bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to Amazon Cubes and Fire Stick. I actually think this is brilliant because they canceled the Keystone, and now they don't have to compete with Amazon or Roku or anybody for shelf space with a streaming device. They are able to instantly penetrate into the market by adding Xbox apps. How are we feeling about this? Jube, Captain Xbox, how are you feeling about this Xbox and Amazon partnership that just got announced?
Looking like a prophet, my guy. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, you talking about me
You
or
called that.
yeah?
Yeah, yeah, you called that.
I
You
did call.
called
I did.
that like a while
I
ago.
called it before the generation started. Yes, they will be
You
everywhere.
did. You did. That streaming stick. You've been talking about that streaming stick for bits.
Yeah.
um, I just think it's pretty crazy. Like, it's crazy that they partnered up. It's like you said all these bad things in court about me, bro. Now look at you putting our stuff on your sticks. Like,
Oh
that's
man.
wild.
Us.
And also people forget there's also a gateway drug attached to this Xbox app, and that is Fortnite. You can play Fortnite for free inside the cloud gaming app, and towards
Yep.
the end of the year, you will be able to purchase games and play those games over the cloud in on it won't just be Game Pass. So you won't need by the end of the year, you won't necessarily
You
need
won't even need Game Pass,
you
or
won't
you
need
need
Game
Game Pass
Pass.
for the cloud.
Yeah. No, you won't need Game
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do the cloud without.
Game Pass Ultimate. That's like the biggest thing. That's like may having
That
people
gives
keep
you
their Game
cloud
Pass
access,
Ultimate.
though.
Huh?
Game Pass
Yeah.
Ultimate gives you cloud access.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's like what gives you the cloud. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
They might do it to where you don't need Ultimate. You might just need the base tier to play games that you own. They might do that.
All right. That'd be fine.
Unless they want to give you strictly cloud streaming without the Xbox or PC, then that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So like you might like get like Game Pass Core for $60 a year, and every game you own in your library you can play over the cloud. That might happen.
That could happen for sure.
Yeah. But
I'll see. We'll see.
before I move on to Nappy, you have any other thoughts on this deal, Jube?
I just think it's exciting. Like, it shows you these companies can get along sometimes, you know?
Okay.
I would have loved to be a fly in that room to hear how those conversations went.
Is
But
this something that appeals to you personally, or do you just think this is something that
I
is
just think it's
just
neat
strictly for the casual market in your eyes?
for those of us with kids. This is for you. Them
Mhm.
streaming sticks is mad cheap. Kid want to play the game? Go copy one of them cheap little streaming sticks and you're good.
Yep.
Along with, the sub.
Um, and one of the things that I saw before I move off of Jube, is that for every person that uses that streaming service, Xbox is going to be able to count them as a quote unquote console gamer, even though they didn't purchase a Series X or a Series S. But really, more so what that does is it allows them to go to third party developers and say, we have this many users that are because every cloud user has to access a Xbox Series S or X server blade. So I guess that's how they
Right.
count them as a console user. Um,
hmm
so it allows them to have more influence over where these third party games end up as far as being on their platform. So even if even if it's not a service that you're necessarily interested in on your Fire Stick, if it has a decent attach rate, it does impact the type of titles that end up coming to your platform.
Right.
Which I think is a big.
Mm.
Any thoughts on that before I jump off of you, Jube? I'm about to jump up to Nappy.
Nah, go ahead and jump up to Nappy. Like I said,
Alright.
I think it's great.
I feel like
Like,
Nappy's been
I'm
chewing at
glad.
the bit a little bit. So Nappy, how you feeling about this Xbox Amazon deal?
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, like I said, they're already inside TVs. Like I was actually shocked that if you were to have a wire connection directly into your router and you have like a decent speed internet, you can get some pretty decent Xbox like console like gaming experience through your TV already with the streaming service. So the fact that it's on a Fire Stick is doesn't surprise me at all. I think this is definitely going to entice people to get the Game Pass subscription to just stream it onto their Fire Sticks. It's going to make more people play Xbox over the cloud network. Now, I think the biggest hurdle right now for Microsoft is that the cloud streaming service only supports one X input device at a time. Now they try to get around that by if you have multiple devices, you can have a family plan, make a family plan so that way multiple people can use different devices under one plan. But I think what they should do is focus to see how they can get multiple X input devices to work simultaneously with the streaming service.
I think part of that, the reason that is because how Xbox works. I haven't really done local multiplayer on a PlayStation. I'm the only one that plays on PlayStation. But for Xbox, you got to log into a profile, and even if it's a guest profile, you have to log into a profile in order to play the multiplayer game. And I think that's probably what the holdup is.
I mean, it could be. We don't understand. I don't know why, but yeah, that's like one of the things. Because I mean, it's great that like little Timmy can now play on a Fire Stick, but if his little brother Tom wants to play too, they both can't play on the same Fire Stick at the same time. They have to take turns.
You know what that does? That makes them go buy a Series S.
I mean, it's
all about being a gate. Like this deal is all about being a gateway drug. It's all about getting you into the Xbox ecosystem. So once you're in, you're more likely to purchase more hardware, more software. That's the whole intent. And the beauty of it being like in Amazon, like Amazon it has very sneaky ways of getting you to purchase things.
No, they do all right. They definitely it's very sneaky indeed.
Whether you really intend to or not. So the way I see this going is, people watching Fallout, at the end of every Fallout show, there's gonna be a little press OK to sign up for Game Pass at the end of every episode. And then people are gonna sign up for Game Pass for 1 month free, and then next thing you know, they're locked in. And people, and I'm guilty, when you do that, you end up paying like 3-4 months, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, what is this that keep coming out? And it gets to the point where a lot of people just don't care, and they just maintain that subscription. That's another thing with this deal that I think is going to be beneficial to Xbox, is that people just sign up for stuff.
They're going to sign up and they're not going to cancel out their subscriptions.
When it comes to Amazon, like I'm guilty. I know plenty of other people are. You're next thing you know, you got toilet paper showing up at your house every 2 weeks. You don't quite know why. And you're like, let me log in.
You signed up for that subscription that 2 months.
Yeah, let me log.
They got you in.
Let me log in and fix this. I don't need fucking toilet paper every 2 weeks. So I mean, stuff like Amazon's good at that, man. I'm just saying, Xbox, like Amazon will get your money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if Microsoft's going to be using the same tactics. I mean,
it's not an Amazon.
Like I said,
Amazon is going to use those tactics. It's not going to be.
Microsoft
Amazon is going to be using those tactics. It's not going to be Microsoft. It's going to be Amazon, because I'm sure they get a cut. They're going to get a cut of every Game Pass subscriber that they get, and they're only on Amazon. Like Amazon's going to get paid for it.
No, I could definitely see that. I'm like I said, I'm really curious. I mean, like I said, Sharon, like, yes, this is great for like if one person's on Game Pass and they can cloud stream on their TV or Fire Stick, it's really great. Now, if you have like multiple siblings, you're probably going to lean towards that. Wait, what happened to that family plan? Is that still a thing?
It was only a pilot in select countries. We don't know if it's ever going to make it out of that pilot into.
Because you're gonna need. Because like I said, if this whole, I know it seems like they're trying to make it where like a whole family can stream their games on like any device possible. I mean,
they haven't.
You're gonna have to.
They haven't said anything about multiplayer. They've just strictly made it known that it's gonna be available.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm just curious because I mean, hey. Mommy might pay for 2 different subscriptions even though one kid could play on a Fire Stick, the other one gonna play on his phone with like a little mobile controller. Just
Hey, even that is cheaper than buying a console or buying like a new game every.
it depends. I mean, it can be.
Yeah.
So I'm like be curious to see how many people are going to play on a Fire Stick. I'm also wait, does the Fire Stick have a USB port for plugging in your controller, or is it going to rely
It's on
on
Bluetooth. Bluetooth.
it relies on blue? Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm a competitive. Well, I'm always play.
This
I won't
is
be playing competitive games, so
this is
That's
for the
fair.
casual market. This endeavor is aimed towards the casual market to bring in a new player base of people who have not considered themselves to be gamers. Like those people that watch Fallout and they want to try it out, you know, it's for those
game
people.
Game Pass streaming on your TV. Well, yeah, streaming on your TV.
It eliminates the $500 barrier for people who have always been interested or who gain an interest even for a short period of time. If you capture their interest for a short period of time, you're able to grab them for cheap and then maybe keep them for a long period.
Yeah, that will be the goal. I mean, Xbox Games Library is forever expanding. They just put Robin Hood on here.
Yeah, it's in Game Pass. Yeah.
EA Sports PC 24.
I mean FC.
Yeah,
PC.
EA Sports FC 24 is now on the Game Pass.
PC 24.
No, my apologies. FC. I mean, their library's forever growing, and Jesus, they got a shit ton of games.
Yeah,
so you can't get bored. I mean, and now it's oh my god, when COD comes out in October, I'm curious about how many people are going to try to play that over streaming service.
You get a COD advertisement. Oh, did you see the leak about a potential being able to play through Nvidia GeForce Now on your Xbox?
Yeah.
If they partner with Nvidia GeForce Now, that is actually I mean, Nvidia does have good streaming servers. They are known for their good streaming service, but Xbox is starting to rival Nvidia with the way they're going.
Yeah, but it's just another thing that kind of takes the load off of the Xbox server because in some areas you can get some pretty long wait time in order to hop in the cloud. They don't really, they don't really have the capacity. That's one thing that we're gonna have to see is with this deal being in place, how do they handle that capacity?
Yeah, that is a good point. Because once this COD comes out, I think COD's going to be a really game changer for
big COD.
It's gonna all them filthy casuals are going to just run over. We're not going to switch over to Xbox because they already got PlayStation 5s. I mean, this console generation is kind of already set.
But if the cloud gaming is really, really good, there could be some people who own other platforms that are like, I don't want to buy a new Xbox, but I'll play it on my streaming stick that I already have. It has to be really good though. It has to be.
Oh my god!
It has to be.
4K TVs, you're gonna need like 100 megabit constant or something for that input latency too, because that's a heavy input latency like game.
Well, ooh. there are some people who might just play it for the
campaign.
Yeah, there's some people who might just play it for the campaign. Not when COD comes out, I'm probably just gonna play it for the campaign. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in multiplayer person.
I'll play for the multiplayer. Like I said, I've been playing the multiplayer. I have not subscribed to any season passes. I take that back. I did subscribe to one for the first time just to see what it was, and I automatically got like a bunch of these zombie like death skins. And I was like, oh, so this is what people are missing out on. And I will say that COD does a nice where it cross transfers over to Warzone Mobile, so it's kind of like one battle pass for like two different versions. I'll give them props for that.
The reason I won't be doing the multiplayer is because I'm not a heavy first-person shooter player, and if I decide to do multiplayer, I'm gonna want to get good at it. And if I decide to get good at it, I'm not playing it. Like, I will.
I mean, just go brain dead. That's what I do. I just go brain dead, just run around, shoot people.
Nah. Ain't
I
nobody
mean,
gonna
yeah, you gotta have
y-
precision, but still.
y'all not gonna be talking shit in my ear, busting my ass. 3 months into the game if I decide to do multiplayer. It's gonna take me like 3 weeks, and I'm not gonna sleep, and I'm gonna get good
I'm
at
not
it.
gonna sleep. Damn.
And I'm gonna get good at it. I'm gonna start busting ass, but that I don't want to do that because once I get good at it and I start having too much fun, I'm not gonna play nothing else. Then y'all gonna be talking about all he plays is Madden and COD.
I mean, hey,
And
we'll
y'all
we'll
won't.
see. I'm curious to see how many people are going to play Game Pass on the Fire Stick. I just want to see for curiosity. I was shocked at how my TV handled Game Pass with any of my X input controllers. So I want to see how the Fire Stick handles it.
Yeah, I want to. Me too. I also want to see how well they're able to attach themselves to the casual market. Even if they were to pick up 5-6 million, like just off of Amazon, that would be huge. That would be like
That would be,
that'd be like a 10
but
that'd be like 10-15% growth for Game Pass.
I mean, honestly, but the thing about it is Game Pass is starting to, like, it's on LG TVs now as well.
It's not on LG
like they're
yet.
not.
It's coming to LG. It's not there yet.
Uh,
I looked over the weekend. It hasn't officially launched for LG.
Oh, it hasn't. Oh,
It's
I'm
only
about to
on
say, like,
Samsung.
it's like Game Pass is coming everywhere. They're not stopping.
They're putting themselves.
They don't care what you play on, as long as you play. That's all they care about.
They're putting themselves in a position to where when they do hit their quote unquote critical mass, that it'll be available everywhere, so people can easily jump into it. When Game Pass becomes the big thing like Netflix did, they will be everywhere, so it'll be very easy for people to just jump in and get access. But let's jump down to our good friend Zero, who is part of the Xbox community, but does not consider himself a bot.
Never.
What are your thoughts on this Xbox Amazon partnership, and what threat does it pose to big Nintendo over there?
I'm not to be down on it, but I'm just not that interested. Jube said a kind of a word I guess I would appreciate. It's neat,
Yeah, I don't think.
but
It's,
a neat.
I would say I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to mean a lot to you because you're not that type of gamer.
I'm not convinced it means a lot to a lot of people. And that just remains to be seen. I understand the idea of ease of play anywhere and everywhere. And so it becomes a neat little thing that you can do. And it is possibly cheaper if you're part of that sort of space or ecosystem. I'm just not convinced. Well, first things first is I'm happy Xbox that you can be anywhere and everywhere. But as I've been saying since time immemorial, like, where are my games? Bro, like they were talking about, oh, we can make Fortnite here. That's fine. Okay. Fortnite's everywhere already. I'm not interested in any other places to play Fortnite. I am interested if I can plug this Fire Stick in and play a really good Halo. Sure, Call of Duty's coming, so I'm sure that'll be as good or even better than what we've seen before because they have some time to cook. But my first thought is, what a cool device for a system that is yet to really be giving me interesting things to play on it. But I do understand that Xbox isn't necessarily going for that route anymore, and so that's just part of my base nature about like how I view gaming. But either way, I'm just like, it just becomes the video game machine, and it's not a bad thing. But admittedly, it just sort of makes me less interested in Xbox as a whole. Because quite frankly, I stop viewing it as Xbox and start viewing it as Microsoft. So Xbox isn't doing anything. Microsoft is getting a little device that puts on your thing. Microsoft is the software system that is on my computers. It's a Microsoft device. And I don't mean to like I understand that they're separate, and I don't treat it the same way that like because it's not Sony, right? Like Sony Pictures does not make Sony video games. But if we're just going for a box that's everywhere to just play video games, I think inevitably at some point Xbox just goes away.
I don't think
Quite
Xbox ever
frankly,
goes away because the brand name is
well, true,
big
like
enough
the
now.
brand name is there,
Yeah.
but like
It's stable now.
if the idea is just like the Xbox in and of itself is not important.
You talking about the actual
The
box?
the software is what's important.
Well, the software is always what's most important, but I don't think the box is going anywhere because the internet, like, they don't have the servers to have the capacity for 100% of their user base to only be on cloud. That's just not.
Yeah,
That's just not
even looking
possible
at the
right now.
even looking at United States like underground fiber infrastructure, it doesn't connect to a good majority of different states, and they will have to do a lot of digging and a lot of cable running to get everyone to that point.
Yeah,
Which I don't think Microsoft's even legally allowed to do
it's
in our
just
country.
yeah. It's not devalue. I don't think it's devaluing the box. I think and I don't think it's as you were saying earlier. I don't think it makes it a thing where people are just running to the stores to get Game Pass on their Fire Stick or just running to their TVs to add a Game Pass subscription. What I do think it does is it puts Game Pass and Xbox in a place where we are now an impulse buy for the casual market. It is nothing for someone to make an impulse purchase now to buy into Game Pass. Versus before, no one's making an impulse purchase on a $500 console or even a $200 console where you still have to buy a game. You're still going to pay about $300 to start your console gaming experience if you're not a gamer already. That's a pretty big upfront cost to dive into something new that you're not even sure that you'll be 100% interested. So I think the biggest thing is that it puts gaming in a position to, or console gaming at least, in a position to where it's an impulse buy the same way that mobile gaming is now an impulse buy. People impulsively just buy microtransactions and buy $2.99.
And I understand that point, but that's to me what I mean by like then it becomes less about the box itself. Because if the software is the impulse buy, and I've already spent the $1,000 on the TV in order to play the $50 and then the $50 to buy the little stick that will play the software, I will impulsively buy all of the software or just Game Pass and just keep that on there and let subscriptions run. But there's nothing really compelling for me to then go out and buy the box.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, if you buy any of the accessories, you get these Game Pass Ultimate cards with like damn near any accessories.
So like Nappy was saying earlier, you buy into Game Pass or Xbox Cloud Gaming, whatever it is, and you decide that you want to do local co-op, but you can't do it on your stick. That's enough to convince someone to buy a Series S if it's on sale. I think so. Like they're a little.
I mean,
unless some major quality of life improvements take place to where multiplayer and things like that are available, I think there are things that will get people to transition to actually getting native experience.
I mean, I'm still a little concerned about whether or not Series S, how long that system's going to be around in general.
They just announced the new model of it dropping this in the winter, so it ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Yeah, the 2 terabyte version.
I mean,
no, the 2 terabyte is for the X, but they announced some sort of update to the Series S.
So they're making a 1 terabyte white one. The only 1 terabyte white S that's out is black.
Yeah.
I think what they're moving to is they want their digital consoles to be white. and their non-digital consoles to be black because
Yeah,
they're
so
gonna pull that black Series S off the market. So
yeah.
Dang, should have got one. Could flip that joint.
I could have got you, man. You know, that would have been
Well,
unopened box, man. What?
It's not too late. You can still walk into a store and buy one.
See if Costco got it.
The white ones don't drop until the wintertime.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, like I'm interested because I think it's interesting, and like quite frankly, I have an Amazon Fire Stick. It's not even a difficult thing to just try out. But I also own an Xbox Series S.
I really want that Galaxy Black joint.
It's something you can take on vacation. Like
I
you
want
said,
it.
you were just on vacation. It's something you can take on vacation or a business trip with you, where you don't have to pack your entire console. You just take
I
it.
think, but see, stuff like that, like you can, and children might, because children are like they're going to be the future, and so they get this stuff more than the generation before them. But even just sort of observing now, you are far better suited to get people to just get the thing that's on the TV rather than someone bringing their Fire Stick. First and foremost, a lot of hotels don't even let you put in your Fire Stick into the TV.
And then a lot of them
Because-
don't
Yeah, a
even
lot of them don't, yeah.
like support HDMI ports.
Yeah,
they
because-
lock them shits down.
Because frankly, why would I? Why would I give you access to my devices? You can log in. Now, almost every TV you go to in a hotel now has, you can sign in with your Netflix, with your Pandora, with your Hulu, or we'll give it to you for free, whichever way. But the actual device, that's no bueno. So you can't really do that from a travel perspective unless you're going to a place that just has a regular TV. And then that can work, I think. But I think you still run the risk of just like, well, people are still going to want to bring the console or just be used to it in that space. So I'm when I hear you say impulse buy, what I think about, like, if I'm in a supermarket, like, this is the gum, and the idea that like this gum or this magazine or this ever might lead you back to aisle 10 to go pick something else up, and it most certainly could.
Yeah.
Or it's just a thing that you get that you forget about. Microsoft makes money regardless, right? Like, they make money, it doesn't matter, because if you get people to sign up for that Game Pass subscription on this little device, they will inevitably forget it.
Well,
And 3 or 4 years might go by before they finally realize, hey, why am I still paying this?
yeah. So I'm kind of thinking.
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking like you're watching a gaming show, like Fallout or Halo on Paramount Plus, or one of those Arcane or Cyberpunk or whatever. And if the show has a game and that game is in Game Pass, there'll be that little Amazon Alexa thing that pops up in the bottom right corner that says, "Hey, do you want to try this game on Game Pass? Press OK to continue." And that's where you get your impulse buys.
Yep.
I think possibly, but I think part of that, and I think part of that challenge.
I just had one of those pop up to me today for a author that I buy a lot of their books. I was just watching the thing, and the little thing popped. Oh, his book is on sale for 99 cents.
Like, I think particularly TV is still doing its best to say in its most traditional model ever. And so advertisements for them need to lead to eyeballs and money.
Yeah.
It's not really leading to eyeballs and money for Amazon if they're telling you to actually take your eyeballs off of this and go to Microsoft to go get this thing. Now, perhaps you could buy it through Amazon, and that might work.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
But to me, that traditional, like, I watch a lot of Amazon TV. They don't put any ads in there outside of actual commercials. Nothing pops up on my screen telling, "Hey, do this."
I just had one pop up today while I was watching. They were trying to sell me a book, literally.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the easiest layup in the world right now is we're on season 4 of The Boys. It would functionally make sense to go pop up and say, "Want to see where this came from? Go buy The Boys comic book here at Amazon."
Yeah.
Oh hell
It
no!
doesn't. It doesn't do it for Lord of the Rings. It didn't do it for Reacher. Like, these are big deal shows for them that all come from already established source materials. Amazon does not redirect to tell you to go do this.
Yeah, they should do that.
I'm not. They should. Maybe they shouldn't. But like, and then so Microsoft has to convince Amazon, who has more money than God, to do this, and they might not see it worth it because they're dealing with an entirely different set of rules and standards and people. TV people are not video game people.
That's true.
I agree. That's what I'm saying, but I 100% agree with you.
So again, like, and I am interested. I will say I'm interested. I'm not going to be completely down on this. I am very interested to see how it works and how it operates. Because for a gamer of my age, it makes it a little easier.
But I don't think this is for gamers. That's my biggest thing. I don't necessarily think it's for game. I think gamers will use it, but I think this is to reach a new audience.
I think if you set it up properly, then what you've effectively made is just a portable gaming device in which I don't have to spend $500. Particularly if I'm weighing between, am I going to get my PlayStation or an Xbox? Well, now it's very easy to have both.
Yeah.
Hey, Zero, I have a question for you. Okay, well, you don't have kids. You have like nieces and nephews, right?
Yes.
Okay, say for instance, would you get does your nieces and nephew has phones already, like smartphones?
Yeah.
And 5G internet on their phone plans?
Do they?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do, because you only need like 10 megabyte streamings to do decent. Would you be imperative, or like say for instance, if your niece and nephew say they want to get into the Xbox ecosystem, would you get them like a mobile controller for their device? Like say for instance this, for example, and it comes with a free month of Game Pass Ultimate just to, for them to test it to see if they like the Xbox Ultimate app on their mobile phone, and then like would that impair you to actually like get this for your kids, and then you just forget about it and the kids now have Xbox Game Pass on their phone and they play it all the time? You think this will work?
No. The only reason I'd say that is because phones have too many competing pieces of software. So it is far more likely that they will spend all of their time on their phone doing TikTok or YouTube than they will playing video games. And to put it like, in fact, I watch how almost after every match of Smash Brothers, my niece is on her phone. Yeah. And she's just going through TikTok. And I'm like, look up. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, back to the game. And then once the game's over, it's back to the phone. Like,
that is scary. But
unfortunately, phones, like,
the mobile space is too competitive to maintain someone's attention on a AAA title.
Yeah,
it just is. There's too much stuff competing for your eyes on your phone, whether it's a text message, a phone call, an email, social media. It's just I couldn't game on my primary phone.
Neither could I.
For more than like 20 minutes. Couldn't do it. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
And largely because they've trained us not to, right? Like, and it's little things. Like, we're in our Twitter chat. I'm playing Resident Evil on my phone, and I see, Nappy said something. Hold on, let me see what he said. So I'll stop the game.
Yeah, it pulls me out the game completely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
dang.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna have an hour-long conversation with you, and I'm supposed to be playing Resident Evil, and like I've not done it anymore.
Yeah, I was just asking because because when Farrell was bringing up the whole like ads coming on and thing, I was wondering like, would that be like a similar thing with like for kids and mobile scene? Because it seems like I think this honestly Game Pass is trying to get Gen Alpha. Yeah, because they're the only people that seem to be susceptible to like, where Game Pass can be played anywhere. Let's grab their attention. It's on your phone. It's on your TV. It's on your Fire Stick. It's on your console.
You sell it to them as an app.
I just see how Amazon advertises to me personally. Like I feel like sometimes my controller doesn't work on purpose when I first load up my Fire Stick. When I first turn my TV on, like the stick won't move for a second, and then if you don't move your stick when you first boot it up, it starts playing the commercial. Like they do that on
Yeah.
purpose because my remote
Ah,
won't work.
damn.
My remote won't work for like the first like 30 seconds sometimes. Then the advertisement pops up, and I'm like, I don't want to see
I
this.
wonder how many purchases do you make after an advertisement?
I don't make any, but I've done seen like the Amazon Lunas. I've done seen like they be advertising to me when I walk in I have a little Echo in my kitchen. When I walk in my kitchen, they're trying to sell me something. They're always trying to sell me shit, man.
Yeah.
God,
They are very pervasive in their salesmanship. Like you can't walk
you must
past
be.
I can't walk past an Amazon device without someone trying to sell me something.
They
Yeah.
monitoring you.
And you make a good point because like Gen Alpha is the app generation, right? Like they fundamentally understand things as applications and not programs or anything else. To like my niece and nephew don't call them commercials; they call them ads. And it's for anything. Like if we're watching Family Feud and a commercial comes on, she's like, "Oh, ads are on." I'm like this. I mean, I guess it's technically an ad, but not in the way we understand it. She does not separate between those 5-second mobile ads you get on your phone and the 30-second Tide commercial that you see on TV. They're all one and the same to them.
Yeah.
And it's like that's such a wild thing. And I imagine that those on the panel who have children like will see it. Like you'll begin to like they're preteens for me, but like you'll see how they talk about things that are the same thing we describe them as, but they just say different terminology for them because they view them very differently. And so I would not be surprised to like you plug in the Fire Stick, like let me play the Xbox ad. Not let me play Xbox. Let me play the Xbox ad.
Yeah, so
Let me play the Xbox app, Mom.
yeah, we
Oh,
don't
God.
we don't do commercials over here. So Amazon is the only one that gets me when my thing freezes up. Like I pay for YouTube Premium. I got
What? I've been a YouTube Premium player too. People call me crazy for that.
I got the higher tier of Amazon, so they don't do the commercial that one commercial before the show starts.
Nah. I just ignore it.
I pay
Literally.
it's like $1 more or $1.99 more. I pay that $1.99.
Nah.
I'm part of the problem because I have all of the streaming services.
I don't have them all. I have a good amount. I have a Crunchyroll, Netflix, Disney Plus.
I canceled
Max,
Disney Plus.
Showtime, Stars, Epic. I think that's it. I got like 6 or 7. I don't got them
I
all.
don't have
I'm-
Showtime.
Well, I still have cable. So as part of my
Oh,
cable,
so do I. Like I'm also part of the problem with cable too.
as part of my cable package, I paid $15 and you get all the movie channels, and then if you have the movie channels, you get the subscription service. So
That makes sense. Yeah.
so I don't pay for all the subscription services. Part of them are just built into my cable package.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool to see though. Like, again, I am interested. I am interested just to see like, what do you like? How's it gonna look? How's it gonna play? And it's so accessible that I can very easily try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll know how successful this was in the first year. I think we're gonna have to wait like a good 5 or 6 years to see like what this really does with the casual market. Got to see where cloud gaming goes in general, and see like what this attach rate really looks like, and does it actually lead to more consoles? It'll be interesting.
Imagine it's an easy experiment that doesn't necessarily cost a lot.
Yeah, because I do think there's going to be a lot of people. I do think there's going to be at least, I'll say at minimum, 1 million people sign up for Game Pass through Amazon now, like just by hitting like the simple OK prompt on their Fire Sticks or their Fire Cube, whatever Fire device.
Our cubes.
Yeah, because it's only so long before they're on the Fire tablet. If they're on the Fire Stick, it's only a matter of time. Then you're on Fire tablet, and when you're on Fire tablets, then you get children locked in. to me, I think there's uh, a steady path that they're going on towards like to putting themselves in a position where mass adoption is possible when they can reach their goal of 100 million subscribers. I think it's
I will
good.
say if they can somehow manage something with Apple, I think they have a very clear pathway to do something like that.
Apple's not going to happen, and we all understand that Apple's not going to happen. It would take
I know.
it would
It
take
was just like,
an act of God for
yeah, it was like when
Apple.
you had mentioned like, oh, we're going to be on our Fire tablets. I was like, would they, or would they be on their iPads? And if you can
I
get
say,
people on, if you can get those ads on their iPads, you're cooking.
Yeah, because
I
you
mean,
can't even get the
you,
Xbox app on the iOS store. So yeah, it's just not
Jeez.
happening. Yeah.
I don't know why I mean, hey, no, there's a lawsuit about it, so they're like freedom. They're giving people the freedom to side download. Apple's pissed off about it, but they've been losing cases left and right.
Well, the issue is that that they're running into is that Apple is enforcing policies that these app makers have to sign up to that are very punitive if they do decide to sideload those apps, and they're gonna have to go to court again over that.
Yes. Yeah,
So
but I mean, hey, Apple did partner up with Sony to make all their DualSense controllers have native support for all Apple products. So who knows? Maybe Sony can be like, "Hey, Apple, we need help. We need to compete with Game Pass."
Uh, yeah, if they want to give Apple some money, because that's the biggest issue that Xbox and Apple have is that um Apple wants revenue for everything generated inside the app. So
Oh yeah,
if you purchase a game inside the PlayStation app or inside the Xbox app, they would have to get a
They
portion
want
of
to.
that. They want a
They
cut
want
of
to
that
cut.
sale.
Yeah.
yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and Apple doesn't own Sony, unlike how
And
Microsoft owns Xbox.
and
So
they wanted a percentage of Game Pass subscription on their device too.
yeah, that was Microsoft's going to say screw that.
Yeah, so that's why Game Pass never made it past beta on the Apple because it was on Game Pass. They did have Game Pass in beta on Apple for a while. That's kind of what killed it. But yeah, great show. Uh, kept it right under 2.5 hours. We can roll right into our outros. Let me get a timestamp for the outros. What we got here? At the clock. Lost. Oh, sometimes it's hard for me to find. I'm like blind. All right, outro. Boom. All right. All right. If you made it this far, I just want to thank you guys for watching us. I know I suck at saying it, so I'm gonna encourage you guys now to like and subscribe to the channel. Share this out to um, people who you know would enjoy our content. If you enjoyed this show, share it with them. Let them know I just watched a great show, the Vitamin G podcast. But with that being said, we're going to roll into our outros, and I am going to kick it off with Jubei since he was the first one here today. Jubei, where can people find you, and what will you play?
Yeah. Find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. I don't know. Maybe I'll play some Cyberpunk this week. We'll see. I got backlog shit to clear, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. There. Oh, you know what? Happy. Where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube if you just type in Nappy Senshi on the search bar. Say for instance, if you are looking for a controller to play Game Pass on your phone, I have a controller behind me, a Backbone controller, good for review, known as a COD mobile controller. Also, Post Malone has did a partnership with Backbone, so there is a green, like clear version of the Backbone controller that's be coming out soon. That's Post Malone's version of the Backbone controller, which is pretty interesting. If you're interested, just that. As far as reviews are going, I still have 8-Bits Doe's Xbox lineup for all their wire controllers. For basically, if you want to get a wire controller, that's an 8-Bit Doe controller. They're very comfortable in the hands, extremely comfortable in the hands, I have to say. far as mobile controller goes, I am working on my Razer Edge review. So I'm actually gonna do the Razer Edge tablet, it's gaming tablet itself, because right now it's on sale for like $200 or $250 on Amazon, which is crazy because the original asking price for that thing was like $500.
Are you gonna wait for Prime Day? Because it might drop even more on Prime Day. Prime Day is coming up.
Well, I already own it. So
okay.
So yeah, also got the GameSir Asura, which basically is a mobile controller. Comes to pack like this, separates, and you just slide your controller in. There you go, another controller you can use for your Game Pass. So yeah, I have a bunch of controllers to review. Also, by the way, here you guys go. If my camera will focus, it will not focus.
No, you just gonna have to copy and paste it into the app. Yeah, people are not gonna be able to read that, man.
God dang it, man! Oh no, it goes away.
Save it for next week.
No, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll probably just copy and paste it in the chat. So, or put it in the comment sections. Let's just see who sees it. But yeah. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Check out First Ascended. It is 4th of July weekend. So barbecues and fireworks.
It's in the middle. What is it?
Hey, look, no, who's coming to work on? Well, actually, I do got to go to work on Friday. I ain't going lie.
I am going to work on Friday because you know where I work. I work right here. I don't have to get up. So
it must be nice.
I don't take the day off ever.
Yeah, yeah, it must be nice.
No commute.
But yeah. All right, but until then, I'll see you guys.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Zero, where can they find you? But more importantly, where can they find you?
It's been an absolute wonderful show. Love chopping it up, talking. Thanks to everybody who came out and listened to us, chatted up with us. Always a great time to hear from all of you. You can find me zero.exe pretty much everywhere. Playing Elden Ring, man. Get up in there. Also, apparently Apex Legends has a 4-player mode now. So I will be jumping back in the Apex to see what the hell is that's all about. So I'm very intrigued. Outside of that, but more importantly, please, you can find us, Vitamin G Podcast, pretty much everywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. Spotify, YouTube, YouTube Music, Google. Give us a like, give us a shout out, send us to a friend, send us to a family member. Say these are some couple of guys who don't yell as much as we used to. So that's cooler. And just give us a listen. As I always say, we appreciate you guys because you literally could be doing anything else, but you decided to listen to us. So thank you and talk to you next time.
All right. Thank you for coming through and getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got your name. Vitamin J, got
All
your name.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Vitamin J. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J. Got what you need. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside.